To be honest with you, this game between Borussia Dortmund as well as Barcelona, it was a messy and a chaotic affair. However, it did provide so much in terms of entertainment value. You know what I'm saying? As we could actually agree to the fact that Barcelona have actually taken a massive step towards an automatic spot in the round of 16 of this season's UEFA Champions League. And it was actually thanks to a wild 3-2 away victory, to Borussia Dortmund at the Signal Iduna Park on a Wednesday night. It was a crazy game of football. From the first minute till the last minute, it was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? But look, the first half was so uneventful. You know what I'm saying? It was an uneventful first half, to be real, because the game was the game was still absolutely breathtaking in the final period. You know what I'm saying? And Ferran Torres, he scored twice to come off the bench to give Barcelona their fifth straight league phase win and actually move them to second place on the standings with just 2 games to go. And Ferran Torres is one of those kind of players where I describe him as an inconsistent player who is still key to the team. You know what I'm saying? He's very inconsistent, but he's still a key player to the team. Very inconsistent for my liking. However, he's still a key player. You know what I'm saying? And I've had this discussion with some of my friends, including Nkateko. I had this conversation with Nkateko early this year about Ferran Torres, is that him and I, we did even agree on this fact that Ferran Torres is that kind of a player that he gets you the results that you need, but he's not going to give you that performance that you actually demand from him. You know what I'm saying? He won't give you that performance that justifies that 55 million euro price tag that Barcelona actually got purchased from Manchester City. He's not that player, but he'll give you the results. You know what I'm saying? He will still make so much of a difference in the team, despite the fact that he's very inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? So, look, let's recap the first 45 minutes of the game. You know what I'm saying? So, we can all agree on the fact that the first half was Barcelona's dominance of possession, not necessarily translating into real chances. As Blaugrana did, come close on a couple of times, forced Gregor Kobel to actually make a few stops, but never really created a true golden goal scoring opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, on the other hand, the home side, Borussia Dortmund, they decided to concede possession and defend deep inside their half. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they were doing throughout the entire 45 minutes, the first 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, their game plan was to say, okay, we defend and then we go on the counter, with purpose, using the speed of their wingers and the physical presence of their striker, Sergio Guirassy. You know what I'm saying? Who was basically a menace in that Barcelona defense. He was a menace, throughout the period. And he could have easily found the net, if it was not for Barcelona's offside trap, which worked perfectly and denied the home team some monster chances. You know what I'm saying? Barcelona and their offside trap is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? And they've implemented it to perfect, to great, distinct perfection. You know what I'm saying? And the Blaugrana's success with their high-risk defensive style was easily the best part about their first-half performance. While the attack was actually annoying to watch at times, it was due to a lot of sideways and backward passing that did nothing to actually threaten Borussia Dortmund's backline. And it did lead to a few moments of visible frustrations for the likes of Rafinha and Lewandowski, who I sincerely believe, despite the fact that Rafinha scored the opening goal, both him and Lewandowski were so ineffective. They really did not give Barcelona that much. You know what I'm saying? They honestly did not give Barcelona that much. They were invisible. They were not in the game. Rafinha was losing the ball every time he had it. Even Lewandowski, he was struggling to hold on to possession. So they were just very ineffective in that first 45 minutes, both Rafinha and Lewandowski, which actually made it very difficult for Barcelona to create clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, as mentioned earlier. You know what I'm saying? And Lewandowski, he did make constant runs behind, without actually getting any passes from his teammates. That could have actually led to chances. But look, I still insist that their performances were not up to standard, both him and Rafinha. You know what I'm saying? And the halftime whistle came to an end of a goalless period. That should have actually featured more efficient football from Barca, who were actually doing good things, but they lacked the they sort of lack the aggressiveness required to actually find the chances and the goals. So would they even change in the second half, or would Dortmund make them pay and ignite the home crowd even more? You know what I'm saying? It was like all three of the above. You know what I'm saying? It was all three of the above. You know what I'm saying? Despite the fact that Barcelona walked away with all 3 points from Dortmund. Then came the second 45 minutes. Okay? So, the second 45 minutes, the hosts almost made a dream start to the second half. You know what I'm saying? So, it was basically a combination between Julian Duranville, who actually gave Guirassy a tap-in. Just 5 minutes, but look, Barca's offside trap did its job again, and the goal was ruled out once again. And then 3 minutes later, the offside trap didn't work for Dortmund, and Barca took advantage as Rafinha was played through on goal by Dani Olmo, who actually fired a rocket into the bottom corner to put the visitors ahead and actually give them, a chance to take full control of the action. With that goal, you would actually expect him to actually pass the ball to Lamine Yamal. But I'm not sure if Rafinha even saw Lamine Yamal coming. You know what I'm saying? But look, understanding that the Brazilian is on form, his confidence is on a high, you would expect him to bury that chance and actually take it for himself. And he did exactly just that. That is basically Rafinha's 6 goals. He's actually got 6 goals in 6 matches in the Champions League. You know what I'm saying? But look, following that particular moment in time, Pau Kubasi made a very bad mistake by pushing Guirassy in the back, inside of the box, which was even in front of the referee, making it was like he just basically made it an easy decision for the referee to actually give the home team a penalty. And Guirassy stepped up, he made no mistake, and actually the game was then level. You know what I'm saying? And then 10 minutes later, a triple change came from Hansi Flick, Rafinha, Olmo, and Lewandowski all coming off for Fermin Lopez, Frankie de Jong, as well as, who else? Ferran Torres. You know what I'm saying? Because the coach wanted to add some fresh legs, for the final 20 minutes of action. You know what I'm saying? So, and those subs really proved to be very effective. You know what I'm saying? And it came at the right time because Barcelona were really struggling to control the game. They were really struggling to control the tempo of the game. I guess it was that thing whereby they were just intimidated by the home atmosphere at the Signal Iduna Park. And trust me, boy oh boy, the atmosphere at the Signal Iduna Park does get intimidating. You know what I'm saying? And all those substitutions made immediate impact. Just 4 minutes as they came on, the 2 players that were involved in Barca's second goal was Jules Koundé, who actually was able to find Fermin, who actually had a lovely volley saved by Kobel at first. But Ferran was the quickest to actually react to the rebound and put the away side back in front. But again, Barca's joy was short-lived. Again, you know what I'm saying? And this time, Dortmund were able to beat the offside trap. It was a great pass from Jan Couto. You know what I'm saying? That actually found the run of Pascal Gross, who actually got the ball before Inaki Peña. You know what I'm saying? And gave Guirassy an easy tap-in for his second goal of the night and set up a wild finish to the game. So with Guirassy actually now, it's also his 6th goal in 6 games. Both him and Rafinha are also tied. 6 goals in 6 games. You know what I'm saying? So which is astonishing. You know what I'm saying? Both players really stepped up to the party. Except for Rafinha, despite Rafinha getting the opening goal, he didn't really step up to the game. He wasn't really as impactful as you would love him to be. You know what I'm saying? And with the scores deadlocked at 2-2, the 2 teams were wide open in the final 10 minutes of the game, as they were unable to actually keep possession. They were actually playing very direct football, trying to create quick chances with balls over the top. But the yellow wall went nuts, and it was actually impossible to predict the winner. Then with 5 minutes to go, a giant turning point in the game. Barcelona's counter-attack off a Dortmund corner kick, Lamine Yamal found Ferran Torres, who fired the ball into the far corner to actually double his tally and give Barcelona their 3rd lead of the night. Man, Lamine Yamal is such a special player, man. He really is. You know what I'm saying? Lamine Yamal is such a special player. I mean, that pass, man, was, it was impeccable. To describe it, it was so impeccable. And the finish from Ferran was also just as impressive. You know what I'm saying? Because he was kind of like from an acute angle. But the way he was able to keep his cool, take his time, and actually pick a spot, man, that's one thing I give him, credit for. And that's actually commendable from Ferran Torres. You know what I'm saying? And Dortmund actually had very little time to actually find a way to get the third equalizer, and they sent everyone forward looking for a late chance. Barca had to now focus on defending, so they had to retreat. You know what I'm saying? Trying to defend their lead and trying to finish things off on the counter. So Flick used these available substitutions to waste some more time towards the death. You know what I'm saying? And then the home team created one last chance in the dying seconds when that free kick from Cross actually found the head of Nico Schlotterbeck, who actually had a great game. He made some wonderful, well-timed tackles. You know what I'm saying? So he actually had a header from point blank range, but the centre back somehow missed it. And then the final whistle came to give Barcelona all 3 points. So if the Betis game was actually crazy, then this somehow found a way to actually top it off in the second half. It was such a back and forth game. And as it gets, Barca actually showed a huge heart and resilience to keep punching back every time Dortmund challenged them. So it was a great game of football and a very important win for FC Barcelona. You know what I'm saying?